Hello, everybody. Welcome tonight here to Phoenix Raceway here in the ARCS Monday Night Lightning Series for Week 3. Just a quick warning, Internet and iRacing have not been working well together, so hopefully that yellow bar on my screen goes down. But we're going to hope that my connection maintains and try to make it through the night as we're getting into qualifying. My name is Zach Wetstein. I'm here tonight with Tanner Marr. How you doing, Tanner?
Doing good, Zach. Hoping all goes well on your end and my end, and hopefully we get to watch a pretty good race here tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to be, I told Tanner before we went live, and I'll say it again, I'm going to be stressing all night long about my connection to this service, so hopefully it goes well. I have to load the HUD. Please mind this. We didn't even think we'd be live with you guys just a couple minutes ago, so sorry about this.
Yeah, to the viewers at home, normally we're really a well-oiled machine and prepared, but just technical difficulties. I'm not even sure if my mic's loud enough or if I'm too loud. So if I'm too loud right now, Zach, just give me a warning and I'll back it on down just a little bit.
Nah, you're perfect. You're lagging a little bit on my end, but that's because of me, so don't worry about it.
You know, Zach, I've seen watching these boys out here qualifying. It's going to be a tough track tonight at Phoenix Raceway with the dog leg. But I've seen a couple guys spin out here on the exit, so maybe a fairly loose track they're on here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to worry about this dog leg here. I think that's the biggest of concerns. Not only getting loose, but that dog leg can bite you when you're going 3 or 4 wide on that thing. So got to be very careful.
And you know, Zach, just like in real life here, we just saw it this weekend, restarts at Phoenix. Whether you're in real life or you're on iRacing, they're going to be crazy. And you're going to see people fighting for every position they can possibly gain on these restarts. And you have to. I mean, you have to do that in a we got 156 laps here tonight, so it's a fairly long, decent race. Just long enough for them boys to get settled in and going.
Elliot Longenecker has the pole spot here tonight so far. Got Thomas Andrews here in that 2-machine qualifying. Everything might be working okay now, so I'm going to try to stop stressing out because whatever happens, happens. Oh, there you go. The 2-car gets loose, just like you mentioned.
Yeah, so right now, Zach, I've counted 6 cars now. I just watched 2 more get loose. And, you know, they're getting loose in the middle of the corner, so that's telling me that not only is this track really slick, but this setup they're with tonight is really on edge.
Yeah, I myself have run this car here, and the setup is a little bit weird. Both turns you get pretty tight in the middle of the turn or so, and on exit you get really loose. So you're literally battling both worlds. You're worrying about not pushing up the track in the middle of the turn, and then you're worried about not spinning out on exit. So it's a handful, and well, not only is it a handful when you're by yourself, but then you got to be around other cars, and that's when it can get really tricky.
Like I tell my teammates over at Five Kings Motorsports, though, when you're racing with other people, you don't push nearly as hard as you're qualifying. So hopefully whenever they get out here around cars, I think the pace will slow down a little bit and people will take it a little bit easier. It's just in qualifying, you're going for every little bit you can possibly get. And you walk at fine edge.
Yeah, here tonight we'll take a quick look at your schedule before this race starts. Here we are. We got a minute left, so we're good. Next week, we head to Atlanta Motor Speedway, and you take a quick look at your stage links there. We'll take a look at that before we take a look at the rest of the schedule. Tonight, we got 37 laps in both stages to open it up, and then that third and final stage, a long 82 laps. And a little birdie told me that they can go about 60 laps on fuel, so I mean, you look at the lap total combined with the first 2 stages, and obviously that's more than 60 laps combined. So we're going to see a little bit of strategy. You know, we might see some people pit at the end of stage 1 to make it through stage 2. And also, Tanner, I failed to mention this to you before the race because of all we were going through, but We are going to have 5 bonus points to each stage winner and the race winner. So before tonight, we didn't have anything for the stage winners, but now there is actually something on the line. So I'm thinking a lot of people behind that leader, since they're not going to be able to earn anything, are probably going to pit before the end of stage 1, just so that they can be good on fuel for the entirety of stage 2.
Yeah, it'd be a really good strategy, and hopefully none of the competitors are listening to us, because that's if you don't think you can win stage 1, try to set yourself up to win stage 2, because at 5 bonus points, it may not sound like a whole lot, but that's essentially 5 spots on a racetrack. So say you finish 5th one week, you get about the same amount of points. So you definitely want to get a stage win anytime you can, that's for sure.
All right, we're going to pull up your grid here. Longenecker gets the pole here tonight with Jason Warren starting second. Cody Pennell, I know we didn't have a broadcast last week, but he won 2 in a row last week, or made it 2 in a row last week. So looking to make it 3 to start off the season. He starts P3 with Trey Kirk on his outside in 4th. Jeremy Brault in 5th with Kobe Roberts starting 6th. Dustin Painter starting 7th, and Donald Ray on his outside in P8.
Elliot, do you think we'll be good for
P9, Tracy Pennell, and on his outside, Alex Simkowski in 10th. David Hawk in 11th with Ryan Pennell in 12th. Starting 13th tonight, Samuel Roberts with 14th being Trey Bass. Patrick Allen starting P15. P16 is Terry Gabbard. Ken Bellamy starting P17 here tonight with Jonathan Hohenbrink on his outside. And P19, the 48 of Tristan Catania starting 19th with Thomas Andrews. P20, Ray Page 21st, Stephen Downton 22nd. And rounding out the field here tonight is Keith Thurst.
It's a 19-car field we got here. Maybe a little bit more if my timing and storing's off right now, but yeah, it's gonna be an interesting race with the qualifying laps looking out here. I don't know about you, Zach, but I'm excited. I love, you know me, I love short track racing, and this track may be a mile in length, but it races just like a short track. You throw in that open dog leg, and it's about to get interesting.
Well, it definitely is about to get interesting as the pace car pulls off, and the green flag is out here at Phoenix Raceway. 156 laps to go, and we are off and racing for the lead. Jason Warren on that outside, going to look to try to take the lead away, but Elliot Longenecker battles back on the inside, and here we go through the dog leg.
Yeah, you got about 3 wide in the back of the pack going through the dog leg right here. Actually seen a guy dip down on the apron. I was not able to catch the number, but actually in turn 1 and 2 went on the apron and made the pass, and we got a car spinning, Zach.
Wrecking. The 14, and Jason Warren was shown as the 12, but he's the 32. The 14 and the 12 wreck. That's Ryan Pennell along with Donald Ray. And I usually would take a look, but I'm fixing something graphically, so we're not going to take a look at that one, at least for now. Like I said, for those who weren't here at the open of the broadcast, we had some issues right before we went live, so not everything is on par right now with what we usually are. We're usually well and ready, but tonight, a couple of issues, so we're just trying to get that all figured out. And that caution kind of helped a little bit. I know the drivers, it didn't help them, but for me, it definitely did.
Yeah, a little peek behind the curtain, as I always say, at least once a week. This week, the peek behind the curtain is about 3 minutes before we went live here. We was not sure if we were going live or not. It seemed like any type of technical glitch that we could have, it was going to happen tonight. But now we're live and we're rolling, and I hope we have a good 156 lap race to call here at Phoenix. This is a great track, Zach. As you see, Elliot Longenecker, he actually he created a little bit of distance between him and Jason Warren right there. Not a whole lot, but he only had about 2 laps to really do it, lap and a half really. And that proved right then, as I saw a little piece of the wreck, coming off that dog leg in the 3, I mean, you go from a really, really wide portion of the track, and then it gets really skinny really fast. So you pretty much got to make your bed and hope it sticks whenever you dive in below somebody. If it don't, you're going to see what you just saw then, have an accident because.
Almost got everything up and good.
A lot of nice cars throughout the field tonight too. I love calling this Xfinity Series, or this series on Monday nights because you see a bunch of good-looking paint schemes in here.
All right, we're all set up.
And you know, Zach, speaking of paint schemes, I just now realized with this new PC, I don't even have trading paints installed, so I'm not even seeing everybody's true paint schemes. Let's see if I can work around that real quick.
As we are back off, and actually a single file restart, and the green flag is out. That's going to help our leader get out to a nice jump ahead of second place Jason Warren. That is Elliott Longnecker in the lead. And we are under caution once again as Thomas Andrews is around. And it looks like out of turn 4, just a self-spin on the restart, getting up through the gears, and oh, that car just spins right around and brings out our second caution of the night.
It looked like that was just a product of grabbing gears and maybe putting a little bit too much power to the rear wheels, Zach.
Yeah, absolutely. That car just turned right around, so I have to agree there. He just steps on the gas too hard and sends that car right around out of turn 4. Once again, we have going to lap 37 to begin the stage, and then we'll go another 37 laps for stage 2, and then 82 laps to the end of the race. And the pit window, 60 laps of fuel, but at a track like this, you're going to be eating away at least at those right side tires, and so that car is going to be screaming for tires. Not too long. If you can get a green flag run going, that car is going to be screaming for tires not too long after the start of it.
Absolutely. This is another one of them tracks, especially in these cars, where you have to protect your tires as much as you can, especially when we classify or bring in stage racing as well. 37 laps. That don't seem like a lot of laps, but you'll be able to tell after about 25 laps that you're wanting some fresh rubber. And speaking of fresh rubber, Zach, we have a tire set limit of 6 here tonight, so there's the set on the car and 5 in the pits. So they have plenty of tires to work with, but you still gotta manage how you use them.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't use too many sets of tires too early on. And if you do, you have to then kind of live with that set of tires for a bit longer than everybody else, just to try to get yourself back on that even playing field with how many sets of tires you have. So that's kind of the beauty of these longer races and sets of tires, is you really have to manage them well, because 6 might sound like a lot, but they can go away in an instant. If you have like 10 or 15 lap runs, you don't want to be just using them willy-nilly. Like you need to take care of them.
Zach, I know this is not professional, but in your settings, do you have high car numbers checked? I'm trying to get my paint schemes where I can actually recognize the fellas out here.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, usually Jason Warren runs that 12 in another series that he runs, so that's probably why it's showing up.
I went through and re-downloaded trading paints. That way I'm just calling the right action, but just having hiccups right now.
See if we get the one to go this time around for these cars. Week 3 of this ARCS Monday Night Lightning Series. And it looks like we're going to have another single file restart here, and Looks like they chose to go with the pace truck instead of that new sedan.
It's a shame too, because that new unnamed sedan is a beauty.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we shut the lights off on the pace truck, that means we're going green flag racing this time by, Zach.
See if we can't get some more green flag laps under our belt here. Just a couple tiny mistakes that can be fixed, and you know that driver who spun out getting through the gears. I believe that was the two of Thomas Andrews. You're going to learn from that, and you're going to know, well, I can't just stomp on the gas and get through the gears. And it sucks in the moment, but you get to learn from it. So we'll see if we can't get ourselves some green flag laps under their belts as the green flag is out. And Elliott Longenecker once again out to a nice lead with these single file restarts. Jason Warren second, Cody Pennell third, Trey Kirk is fourth, and Jeremy Brault is fifth.
Elliott got a magnificent restart. Whether that's single file or he just fired off that quick, I'm not sure. But yeah, talking about spinning the tires on the start, not only does the driver that made the mistake learn that, but everybody around him saw that happen too, so they also know it too. So these drivers might end up being a little bit more gun-shy on these restarts, but one person that wasn't was Elliott that time. And we got another spin on the front stretch, Zach, and they're just cars piling up on top of each other.
Oh no, Tristan Catani in that 48, and oh man, they keep making contact. Oh no.
And they're still making contact.
But when we talk about that dog leg, one thing I was going to mention before that wreck is you'll see him use it trying to pass people and on these restarts, but as laps go by and it single files out, you're going to see these drivers not cut it off as much. And so we'll see if you can notice that as this race goes on. But for now, the 48, Tristan, we'll see what happens on the front stretch. Just gets loose and, comes back up the track. And nowhere to go for that 14 machine. And, well, that 11 just kind of rolls right into the 48.
Yeah, tough break right there for both drivers. I don't know if the new smoke kind of threw the 11 off right then or what, but that's a tough break for both drivers right then. Zach, I've been messing with settings so much. Have you noticed anybody pulling in? I know you said they're good for fuel on the first stage, basically, so there's no real reason for anybody to pit now.
I think we've seen people caught up in these wrecks going to go to pit road, but other than that not really. Ken Bellamy down pit road, I'm not sure if Ken was part of that, but Donald Ray in that 14 was a part of it, along with Patrick Allen in the 19, who I'm not sure if that car has damage. Keith Durst in the 11, you saw the 11 in that replay, and Tristan Catania in the 48 as well. So most of the cars that were a part of that wreck are the only drivers down pit road. And maybe there was some more contact after that we didn't see, but at least for the cars that we know that were part of that were down pit road.
Yeah, with these drivers being able to make it on fuel, I don't see a whole lot of reason to actually go down pit road. But, maybe somebody wants to take tires this early. I wouldn't for sure, but you get sideways or start to abuse them. You got 5 sets in the pits, who knows? But I didn't think we saw anybody except for the ones that are involved in the accidents.
As I imagine with these early cautions, that single file restart's going to keep up. And Elliott Longenecker, probably the only one who's really enjoying that right now, as he's in the lead. And with these single file restarts, it's pretty easy to keep that lead unless you miss a shift or something.
Refresh my memory, Zach. That Cody Pennell in the 6 car, he was the one that was super fast the first race we called together, correct?
Yep, and he won last week as well.
Oh, yeah, 10-4. So he's sitting third right now, so that's going to be a driver to watch out for tonight, especially on these short tracks. If you're fast at a big track, you're usually fast everywhere you go. So he's a driver to watch for tonight.
By the way, if any drivers if you're in the future right now and you're watching this as a driver, and I pronounce your name wrong, don't be afraid to message me and let me know. Alex Simkowski, I wouldn't know how to say that unless you messaged me, and the Pennells made sure to remind me how to say it. So learning along, and I'm not going to be able to say everyone's name right most likely. So If I do, I apologize, but just message me and we'll get that straightened out and have your name being said right on the streams. And we're actually going back to a double file restart here.
This should be interesting right here. This is what Phoenix is known for, is these crazy restarts. But we've had a few cautions here, Zach. They may just kind of temper it down, rein it in a little bit, and just try to turn some laps and click off some laps right here.
Yeah, 15 laps in, 3 cautions. Not what you'd like to see as a driver, so we'll see if they take it easy. But I kind of doubt it, because when you go to that dog leg, you want to take it easy, but you see a dog leg that you can cut off and make passes, and it kind of, you're along for the ride at that point. You want to be aggressive. So if we can make it past the dog leg without any wrecks, I think we'll be okay. But we're going to see if we'll have a battle for the lead going into turn 1 as the pace truck pulls off, and Elliott Longenecker is off. The green flag is out, and the battle is for second right now.
So that goes to show that Elliott, he gets a good restart no matter if it's single file, double file, triple file. It don't matter. He's quick on the gas, and then he just takes off. As you see, Cody Pennell, he uses the dog leg aggressively right then, but it's actually going to cost him a little bit of time right then.
I think Jason Warren got the better run off on the high side out of 2. See, I watched this race in real life, and it messes with your brain because for those who don't know, iRacing is not up to date with the real Phoenix Raceway. The start-finish line is right here on the backstretch, right there, and in iRacing it just isn't. So, when I go to say turn 1 and 2, turn 3 and 4, sometimes I almost get it mixed up because of real life.
That's why I hesitate whenever I say it. I said it a while ago. I said turn 1 because I had to think about it in iRacing terms. But yeah, I've never understood why they haven't updated it yet. That'd make things really messy too on restarts they updated on iRacing.
Really. And so far, and Jason Warren touches the wall a little bit. Jason Warren did a nice job at battling back and taking that position back away from Cody Pennell, as we have a battle going on here between Jeremy Brault and Kobe Roberts in that 22 Hooters machine, as Jeremy going to keep that 5th position. He started there. Really, actually, everybody in the top 6 started in every position that they're in. So 1st through 6th, they started in those positions. So they're showing some consistency, and right now, right behind that top 6 is Alex Simkowski in that 99. He's up 3 spots. He started P10.
Also noticed with that 99 of Alex Simkowski, he's electing to run a little bit higher line in turn 3 and 4 right there. And then in 1 and 2, he's down the bottom like normal. Well, he's a little bit higher there. There's the commentary backfire. It's going to be the opposite of what I say.
Well,
I've also noticed, Zach, sorry, but I've also noticed drivers are not electing to use the dog leg very much anymore. They're kind of just, they're riding right there at the yellow line. They're kind of straddling it a little bit. And I think that's the way to go as the race goes on, not to use your tires up extra.
Oh, yeah. I mentioned it a little while ago, and I said as it singles out, these drivers will start to just not cut it off. In real life, it's because you don't want to tear the bottom of your car up if you don't need to. Because in real life, and I actually think they're starting to implement these things into iRacing, where if you hit like a curb, it can mess your car up. So I'm not sure if it happens here at Phoenix, but at a lot of places, if you hit a curbing wrong or a part of the track wrong, it can mess the bottom of your car up. And in real life, at least, when you go down to that dog leg, that scrapes the bottom of that car. It kind of flares the skirts of the car up a little bit. And so the drivers don't use it when they don't need to, just to not damage their car. And I'm not sure, like I said, if it does it in iRacing, but it's also just a simpler line. If it doesn't damage your car, still, it's a simpler line to just kind of, like you said, straddle that yellow line instead of cutting the dog leg, because as the tires get older, the more you cut that off, the looser you can get down onto the dog leg.
Absolutely. It don't look like you're just sitting here looking at it from our vantage point, but you've drove this Phoenix, I've drove it. That transition from the actual track to the what we'll call the apron of the dog leg right there, there's a pretty good transition dip right there. And if you hit that wrong, you can lose the car. I mean, you can lose the back end of the car, just upset the car enough to spin out. And you gotta be careful with that. Like you said, as the long run goes on, you get loose down there, and before you know it, you're looking at one of the walls.
Tracy Pennell has made a pass on Alex Simkowski, and so are a couple other drivers, as he's going to maybe lose 2 more spots here but David Hawk behind him is going to be a little patient in that P10, but Dustin Painter going to take that 8th position away from Alex Simkowski. So maybe those tires starting to wear out a little bit for Alex, and starting to lose a couple of positions as there's a little bit of battling going on behind him as well.
A lot of the drivers have just elected, like you said, to just go single file right now, but nobody's really spread out. First and second got a little bit of gap, and then second has a little bit of gap to third, but the rest of the drivers throughout the field, they're all kind of bunched up in their own little packs of racing, and that's one thing I love about short tracks is nobody ever gets too far away from somebody, and if they do, then you got lap traffic to be involved with.
We are 11 laps out from our first stage ending. And like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, 5 bonus points to both stage winners and then the end of the race winner. So it's starting to actually be important to win these stages, unlike the first week and second week, to where now you actually earn something for being in that lead. And that poses the question, again, like we questioned at the beginning, is if you're not in that leading position, if you're not going to earn points, should you pit before the stage end so that you can go all the way through stage 2 on fuel, unlike the drivers who don't pit before the stage 1 end and will have to pit at least afterwards. So I imagine anyone who doesn't pit before the stage end will pit after the stage end. So that's, they can make it on fuel through the stage, but that's why I love these stage racing, is because just because you can make it through the end of the stage on fuel doesn't mean everybody will elect not to pit.
You're absolutely right. That's what I run another league on Sunday nights that implements stage racing, and man, it makes it so much fun. It adds so much strategy. They actually do points 1st through 10th like real life, and it adds a lot of strategy, but then it adds a lot of risk too, because you want every bit of stage points that you can get, just like they do in real life. So that's what Elliot's thinking right now, is as these laps count down, he wants some 5 extra points, but guess who else wants it? Everybody else, including Jason Warren, who's trying to track him down right now.
Yeah, Jason Warren he's going to make him think about it. Jason is going to make Elliott think about where Jason is on track behind him, because that distance is starting to gap a little bit between the two, but it is still under a second. So Elliott cannot sit too comfortably until the end of the stage at least, but Warren almost touches the wall. We did a little bit of a practice race, I guess you could call it, 2 or 3 nights ago. Jason, we were doing a fun run, and he asked if we could do Phoenix in the Cup cars. So he does have a little bit of experience racing here. I believe he also raced last night in his other league. So not sure how much experience racing here these other guys have, but I know Jason, he's gotten a good amount of laps in the last couple of nights here at Phoenix in the Cup cars.
Yes, sir, and not to take away from this league, because obviously this league's awesome, but Original Rebels, didn't they have their All-Star race last night, Zach?
Yep. Yes,
was Jason Warren, he not running that last night?
I don't believe he did.
And who won that race, Zach?
Okay. All right, we're going to get into it.
Just go ahead and tell him.
Okay, I did.
See, so not only is he a commentator, not only is he great at commentating these races, but he also can grab the wheel and drive too. That's why we love commentating together. We're both racers. We get on here. We enjoy commentating. I tell him this all the time. I love being in the booth just as much as I love racing. But with Zach, that's why I asked him so many questions, because he's a racer at heart too, and he knows what to do in these type of situations. But he calls it 50-50 also. He calls it how he sees it, and that's what I like.
Yeah, I find it a little bit easier to broadcast when you know at least what it feels like in the car. Sometimes in these SK modifieds that I broadcast, I don't know much just because I don't run them much. But, I run NIS every week except this past week because of the whole internet issues. But I run NIS every week, and these guys are following that NASCAR schedule that NIS follows as well. And so it makes it a little bit easier when I run races myself and the same amount of laps as these guys do to know how that car feels a little bit better and know whether they want to take tires earlier or later. So that definitely helps out. And we are getting very close here to our stage in for Elliott Longnecker, as he has a 1.5 second lead over Jason Warren and looks to lock up those 5 points.
Yeah, this 5 machine of Elliott Longnecker, he just looks like the dominant car right now. I mean, we know Jason's fast. We know the 6 of Pinel's fast. I mean, we know a lot of people in here is fast, but I don't think anybody has Elliott fast, at least for this first stage right now.
Yeah, he finished, I believe, no, I'm not sure. I have horrible memory back to week 1, so I won't go there until I actually have the stats. But Elliott looked strong at Homestead when we broadcasted there, and not sure about last week, obviously, but I know that he's going to have all the speed, or as good of a chance as any of these drivers to win these races, and he's shown it tonight, right now, leading this race, and led every lap so far here to lap 36.
Absolutely, and we're actually seeing lap traffic come into play right now. So Elliott's glad to see the stage coming, because then it's going to reset everybody, and then he'll have to do it all over again for stage 2.
And we didn't see anybody pit, so everybody's just going to make it through the stage and pit after the stage end. Actually, we might have. I was thinking maybe Terry Gabbard had, but I'm not sure. Might have just gone a lap down.
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I think he just went a lap down getting past, but we'll see. We'll see at the stage end as we complete lap 37, and should be seeing, there it is.
Contact between what I'm seeing as a 4 machine, that might be incorrect, the 4 machine and 32 of Jason Warren right then.
Elliott Longnecker wins stage 1 here at Phoenix Raceway, and that is 5 points, or 5 bonus points added to his point collection. So he's going to try to sweep stages as he's going to go after stage 2, and nobody, I don't think anybody pit there at the end of that stage, so nobody should go to the front of the field ahead of him after everybody pits here at the end of this stage, as I believe pits will open this time around as they collect the pace truck collects them.
Yeah, we're going to have a busy pit road here, Zach. It's just, you think you're going to have anybody gamble for 2 tires. Says, look, that 4 machine actually has a lot of damage, and just put it into the outside wall. I'm not sure what happened there.
Oh, man.
It looked like maybe he shifted down to first.
I'm not sure. I looked up just as he was spinning out.
Yeah, I caught the tail end of that. I just saw him take a hard right. But yeah, like I was saying, do you think if you're in the back of the pack, it's 2 tires? Is it too bold of a strategy to take at this point?
Oh, absolutely. Tires, maybe not as other tracks. And we do have someone who stays out, but I think they were a lap down. Tires, definitely there's other tracks that are worse on them, but this track can be cruel on the tires at times. So I definitely would not take 2, and I don't think we'll see anybody take 2, but we'll see.
I mainly asked that because I have not been. Only thing I've been on Phoenix with recently is super late model. So I didn't know what tires were really like. I know tires are always valuable. I mean, don't get me wrong, but didn't know if maybe you could get by with taking only right sides and taking lefts at a later time.
The thing easier about this race here tonight for these drivers, the rail race was during the daytime. But they did schedule this for nighttime racing, and that makes it a lot easier at Phoenix compared to when you're racing in the afternoon. The track's going to be a lot less, or a lot cooler, and we're going to actually pull up your weather real quick. That track is 68 degrees. If we were during daytime, that would be closer to 100. So these tires are wearing out less than they would during the daytime.
Absolutely, yes. When we did a Phoenix day race, I actually, here in Las Vegas, are the 2 hottest tracks I've ever seen, and I've seen 131 here at one time. I mean, that's like a, you're basically feel like you're driving on the ice after wearing your tires out just a little bit.
Well, everybody took 4, looks like, but Cody Pinnell had a bad pit stop, and it's going to put him back to 5th when he finished that stage 3rd.
It looked like he kind of went through his pit box a little bit. I saw him go in reverse. I think it was him in the 6th car, if that's correct. I think he had to back up just a hair to get back into his pit box.
So early on in that stage, 3 cautions in the first 12 laps, and then we go green the rest of the way. So these drivers kind of, maybe you could say, learned from their mistakes and had a nice run to the end of that stage.
Just had to get the nerves settled down, had to get the feel for everybody around them, get the feel for the track. I mean, we saw in qualifying, this is a slick track to only be 68 degrees. You would think there's a lot of grip in it, but the setup in these cars is just on edge right now, and we saw that in qualifying.
Not sure what's happening to Elliott, but he's fallen behind Jason Warren. Not sure, but he should be getting back. Oh, I think he chose the outside, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little confused.
On my scoring and time, it's showing him third with Jeremy.
Huh.
Jeremy in the 74 in second.
Oh, okay. It looked like he beat Warren out of pits, but okay.
Did the 74 car not pit? He was up near the front earlier, though. I know he was like in the top 5, top 6. I thought.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I am very confused right now because I definitely thought Elliott Longnecker led out of pit road.
So I think they delayed caution twice now. And Elliott's saying IRacing has something really messed up. I should be in the lead right now.
Yeah, he beat Jason Warren out of pit road, definitely.
I thought he did as well.
Yeah, I was really confused when he was going backwards.
I think they are overriding iRacing right now, and they're going to put the grid back how it should be.
I definitely think that's the right choice to do, for
That's
sure.
the right call to do. If somebody gets a black flag, just clear it.
Unless it's speeding out of pits, which it doesn't sound like it was, or else he would have just taken his penalty. Then if something's off, then yeah, definitely. Because I mean, we saw it on the broadcast if you were watching when they came out of pits. He definitely beat Jason Warren out. So I'm not sure what happened in iRacing, but hopefully they'll be able to get through it cleanly, clear those black flags that they may get, and we'll be on our way.
Now the lights are off on that pretty old pace truck right here. About to go green flag racing again. I see some people take hard lefts down the dog leg. I'm not sure what they're doing, just warming up tires maybe. That's pretty aggressive warm up tires right then though.
Pace truck going to take that sharp left onto pit road, and we are going back to racing here for stage 2.
Did you see that? Jason Warren thought Elliott was going. He went and had to check up. He thought Elliott was going to go right then, and Elliott actually didn't go, and it actually hurt Jason on the restart. Because now, and Jason Warren gets loose with the 74 on his inside.
Jason Warren in a lot of traffic now. He's not been used to this. He's always been in second in this race, so he's now back to P4 and has to deal with this dirty air that he's been behind Elliott Longnecker. And they're wrecking behind him. David Hawk around. And a lot of damage.
Tough break for Jason and whoever's in the record there. But Jason Warren, he almost timed the restart perfect. He missed it by just half a second, if that. And you saw what happened. As we're sitting here, let's see what happened in this wreck right here.
By the way, we'll be going to lap 74. That will be the end of stage 2, just so you guys know. Already a little bit of damage to the back end of that car. And, just 2 drivers occupying 1 space, it seems like. And nowhere to go for the 54. 54, Stephen Downton, just nowhere to go. Or Stephen Downton, just nowhere.
Just a victim of circumstance right then. He just had nowhere to go. I can't even tell what number that guy is right now. The 21 machine, he was just coming back up, and 54 just happened to be there.
Shout out to Stephen Downton, because he must get his name mispronounced all the time, because in iRacing, he has Stephen, the way his name is spelt, and then in parentheses, because his name is spelled S-T-E-P-H-E-N, and then between that and his last name, he has in parentheses S-T-E-V-E-N. So he must get that mispronounced all the time, so he just went ahead and put that in there so people knew it was Stephen.
I'm jealous because I'm not seeing that, actually. I don't even see that.
Oh, it's
that's
showing it
cool.
in my iRacing live time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. He said, you broadcasters ain't going to mess this up anymore.
I did mess. Well, I said Stefan, and I didn't even see it, but I was like, I think it's Steven. And then I saw it, and I was like, it is Steven.
You corrected it fast enough where it couldn't be counted as a mistake.
Oh, man. I corrected myself and then saw that, and I was like, that's nice of him.
Right. It's a little cheat sheet right by his name. That's awesome.
Exactly. Well, your top 10 so far, almost 50 laps in, 46 laps into this race. Elliott Longnecker, Jeremy Braultz, Kobe Roberts, Jason Warren, Trey Kirk. That's your top 5, with Cody Pinnell and Tracy Pinnell 6th and 7th, with Alex Simkowski, Dustin Painter, and Trey Bass rounding out your top 10 here, 47 laps in.
I'm trying to look on here, Zach, and see if we've had any big movers, but we really haven't. I've seen you got a couple people that's gained 4 or 5 spots, but for the most part, everybody's running close to where they started at, or they've lost positions from being involved in wrecks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I believe Ray Page up 8 spots, started 21st up to 13th. Like I said, he's gained 8 spots. That's your biggest mover so far. And really, this track is just so tough to pass on that you're not going to have a lot of big movers just because of, when you have someone on your inside, you can really pinch them down to that yellow line and hold on to that outside line, and that makes this place really tough to pass.
And that's the number one reason why restarts are so key here. And using that dog leg on the restarts, try to gain every position that you possibly can, because you get single filed out pretty quick here.
Once again, stage 2 will end on lap 74. So we have a 26-lap shootout here. I say shootout because it's not a lot of laps, but for Elliott Longenecker, maybe we'll go by a little bit slower than for these other drivers trying to chase him down.
These other drivers that are in the points battle, I mean, I'm sure everybody is, but your top 5 in points right now, they don't really want to allow Elliott to grab another 5 bonus points here. So I have a feeling it's going to be pretty interesting how this shakes off here.
Yeah, before I had to restart my computer to see if it would fix itself in iRacing, I had the points brought up, but now I don't, so I'll have to get those back up. But I'll get those back up while these guys are about to go back racing here. Elliott Longenecker still your leader, led every lap so far, and he'll be able to lead this next one as the green flag is out. He is off, and a nice jump behind him, but obviously with it being a single file restart, not a good enough jump to be side by side into one.
As I'm seeing some drivers actually shake and make some moves here. The 99 of Alex Sikowski made a good move there. The 49 has went to the apron. There's a lot of action going on throughout the pack right now.
A lot single filed out, mainly because of a single file restart. Ooh, but some racing behind them as they were almost side by side coming out of 4. And we are closing in on under 100 laps to go here tonight. This racetrack, they say technically it's not a short track, but it is a mile in length. So it's not your kind of, oh, and we have a car
Ooh,
around.
the 48 coming up into the traffic right there. I think he was trying to minimize damage by not going a lap down right there, but that was a close one. But yeah, hitting on what you just said, yeah, this track, it might not be classified as a short track, but it definitely drives like one.
As Jason Warren gets himself back around Kobe Roberts. He fell outside of that top 3 on that last restart, and he does a nice job this time at getting himself back into the podium position, and now he's going to try to track down Jeremy Brolt. And I honestly have no doubt that he'll be able to have the speed to maybe try to get back up there into the top 2 at least, but man, it just seems like nobody so far has had the speed that Elliott Longenecker has. But hey, Jeremy's not too far behind right now.
And Jeremy's been up in the top 5 for the majority of this race, if I do recall correctly. I think he started
P5 he started?
Yeah, he started P5, and so he's gained 3 spots, so he showed some good race pace tonight. As there's actually a pretty big gap between him and Jason Warren right now as you hit on. I think that's Jason. Yellow flag is out.
Ooh, caution is out. And ooh, that's Ray Page. That is, I wouldn't say it's commentator curse. No, I'm not going to say that is. Uh-oh. It's blinking on my screen. Please chill out, iRacing. I do not want it to start doing that. You're still with me, right?
I'm still here.
Okay, just making sure my internet hasn't totally crapped out. As we're going to come back here and see just what happened to that 41 machine. Gets real loose out of 4, overcorrects, nowhere to go for the 37.
If the 37 wouldn't have been there, Ray may have been in that car, but I don't know, Zach. It looked like he was going back to the outside, or the outside wall, excuse me.
As that was Ken Bellamy that got caught up in that.
Tough break for Ray Page. He just lost his front clip. I do believe they get a fast repair in this series, though, correct, Zach?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so they should be able to, as long as he makes it to pit road, he should be okay.
Yeah, again, guys, sorry if it starts blinking a little bit. That red you saw on the bar, if you saw it, was blinking a little bit, so hopefully it'll chill out again. Not sure what's been happening, but I've been having more connection issues to iRacing than I ever have in 5 years on iRacing, so hopefully they'll fix it tomorrow in the update.
Somebody got disqualified, Zach. I don't know if that was the 48. I'm not sure what happened, but I see it on the chat log right now. Zach, you still here?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm just
Okay.
checking the
All right,
stream
just
and
make
make
sure.
sure.
You're good.
Make
Check
sure
and
the
see if we've had any more
Make
big
sure
movers
the,
other than Ray Page.
Make sure if the stream was still alive.
But yeah, Elliot Longenecker in this 5 machine, not only has he executed perfect restarts, it seems, he's also just shown the best sheer amount of race pace tonight. And I mean, at a short track, you want to have that over every other track, because if not, you get that guy behind you. We talk about it all the time on Tuesday nights. You get somebody that's filling up your mirror behind you, you're a lot more liable to make a mistake when somebody's right there on you, because you're going to be pushing too hard trying to get away from them. And that's something Elliot ain't had to really deal with tonight. He's been able to set a good pace and create about a half-second lead for himself, and it's worked out pretty good for him here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's going to try to sweep the first 2 stages as lap 74. We're starting to close in on 18 laps out from that, so not too long for Elliot to collect 5 bonus points here early on.
You know, Zach, that's huge, man, to come into this race and basically get gifted 10 bonus points, correct? And didn't you say whoever wins also gets an extra 5 bonus points?
I believe so. So you can get 15 on one night, 15 bonus added on to what you get on your
Right.
finish.
So, I mean, you come in and say Elliot came into this race 5th place on the points, he could take the lead or something like that. You're looking at 15 extra points on top of your race finish as the lights go off on that pace truck. So we're going green this time by again.
And it will be side by side. So Jeremy in that 74 Chevrolet on the outside has a chance to try to take that lead away, which nobody's been able to do so far. And Jason Warren, who's been in second of the majority of this race until now, he's going to be starting right behind our leader. So maybe a little bit of an easier jump here for Jason Warren, because he's been next to Elliot Longenecker for so long that it's a little bit harder to gauge when the leader goes. And when you're right behind him, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, if I'm not first here, I'd like to be in Jason Warren's spot as we see Elliot in the 5 machine get a good jump in the race right now for second, and look like there's a race behind him for 3rd and 4th as well.
A lot of racing going on here early, side by side into turn 1 and 2, as looks like Jeremy Brault's going to be able to edge out Jason Warren for that P3 or P2, and here comes Trey Kirk in the 24. Week 1 when we were at Homestead, we mentioned Trey Kirk a lot for kind of battling through the field from the back multiple times. He started tonight P4 and he's in P4, so a little bit of an easier start to the race for Trey.
Yeah, he's not as far behind the 8 ball tonight, because at Homestead, like you said, multiple times, 3 or 4 times, we watched him get shuffled back and have to drive his way to the front. And it was impressive, but it's stressful. So I know he's liking his position tonight a lot better. But as you see right here, look at Elliot Longenecker. He's created not a huge gap, but that's about the gap he's had all night, Zach, right there, about half a second to a second at times. And I mean, that's just a dominant pace that he's showing here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are very double file back here. A couple rows deep. It was just a little while ago. Donald Ray, he had to use that quicker pad that you mentioned. So I'm not sure if he has any left. I think they only have one, but I could be wrong. So he's got to be very careful in that 14 machine of not getting caught up in any other wrecks. He's currently sitting P11, so trying to get his way into that top 10.
Yeah, Zach, so I actually looked. I think they get 2 fast repairs in this series, brother. I think it's 2 of them from what I saw, so that's good. We actually see Elliot Longenecker. He looked like he shot the corner high right then. And the 74 machine's looking under him right now. I don't know what happened right there with Elliot.
And you're right, Elliot going to fight back on the outside, not able to do so. And here comes Jason Warren to the inside for P2. And Elliot Longenecker, for the first time tonight, has to be in dirty air and try to race his way, but he is able to outrace Jason Warren for P2, and now going to have to go. He's going to have to go and fight for the lead now.
Don't me. I know what that means tonight. Don't do that.
All
But
of
yeah,
the
that was
cars
a,
blinked.
yeah, that was walking. That was a good move right there by the 74. So I actually looked down to put my phone on charge and looked up. Elliot's on the outside high side. So I'm really not too sure what happened there. But yeah, this is the first time Elliot's had to follow a car tonight. He's just been out on his lonesome on the island. And so now we're going to get to really see a testament of his sheer speed tonight.
Yeah, that 74 of Jeremy Brialt, the first to take the lead away from Elliot Longenecker, and in a timely fashion, as we're getting close to 10 laps out from the stage end, and he wants those 5 bonus points. He does not want Elliot Longenecker to get more than 5 or 10 tonight, at least, you know, if he wins the race. But at least to start off this race, he doesn't want him to have 10.
Ooh, Elliot got loose right there. That's twice now, Zach. I've seen Elliot get really loose, so he might have his right rear tire. Maybe he's had too much heat in it right now, and I'm not sure what happened, honestly, why he went high like that, unless he just got loose and washed up or missed the corner. I'm not too sure, honestly. But whatever it was, the 74 liked it, and he took the lead, and now he has a clean racetrack out of his windshield, and he ain't running away from Elliott, but he's created a little bit of separation, about 3/10 or whatnot.
I mean, we saw Elliott get out to a 2.5 lead over everybody. Always he gets a little loose. We saw Elliott build a 2.5 gap over everybody else. So he's in the dirty air now, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but you got to give credit to that 74. He's out to the lead, and he hasn't given it up to Elliott because, you know, with Elliott's pace that he's had all night, you'd think maybe he would just go right back and take the lead away, but Jeremy's done a really nice job at staying out in front of him.
Elliott just got really loose again off turn 4 it is on IRacing. Got really loose again. So, yeah, I think Elliott's just maybe asked too much of his tire so far. So, going into this last stage, since we're about 10 laps, 11 laps to go at the end of stage 2, he might calm it down a little bit. But he's right there on the bumper at 74. He drives right back up there to him. Elliott can taste those 5 extra bonus points right now. I mean, he thought he had them pretty much locked up, and now he knows they're just right out there in front of him. He just has to reach out and grab it.
Yeah, absolutely, but Jeremy's not going to make it easy on him. He's going to make him pass him.
You went quiet on me for a minute, Zach. Sorry. But, yeah, you're at a short track. I mean, getting there's one thing. You got to get past, but as the 74 goes up high a little bit, he's going to give the position up to Elliott, I think, right here. If Elliott uses the dog leg, cuts his track in half, basically. It's going to be a race going into turn 3 and 4.
Elliot Longenecker back to the point, and he is now back in position to get those bonus points for the second stage.
I thought I was going to attempt a crossover right then. Sorry for interrupting you, but I thought we were about to have some good side-by-side right there.
As Elliott trying to sweep tonight, and in order to do that, you got to win the second stage as well. But, you know, obviously before you can win the race. But Elliot Longenecker wants to win this race, obviously, but right now focused on making it to lap 74 in first.
I think he is battling a pretty loose race car. I know they all are, obviously, from what we saw, but he's getting loose just about every time on the exit. So I think he's just about ready to call this stage in. As he gets loose right then off turn 2, he's ready to end this stage and get 4 fresh rubbers on there.
Yeah, again, I apologize tonight for any of the blinking. Connection to iRacing, not great tonight for some reason, just like last week, but thankful we're at least able to bring you a broadcast here tonight. And Elliot Longenecker thankful for it as well, because, I mean, if he can sweep all 3 stages, he's going to want to go back and watch this dominant.
Absolutely, and I'm sure if any of our amazing viewers have Spectrum, they can understand it, buddy. I mean, it's just it's a product of the internet. It may not be on your end. iRacing just did a big update. It could be something on their end, because I was dropping frames this week. But we're battling through it, and we're persevering, and Elliot Longenecker, I mean, man, he's been dominant tonight.
I'd like to blame it on my internet, but, man, I haven't had connections. Like I said, I haven't had connection issues like this to iRacing for a whole week like I had. I've never in 5 years had problems like this throughout a whole week. So I'd like to think it's iRacing's end, but I'm not sure right now. But Elliot Longenecker, 2 laps away from getting this stage win. Now going to be 1 when he crosses the start-finish line.
So now those 5 points are really right out in front of him. He's just got to reach out and grab it, and he's created a little bit of separation. But look at it, he's battling a loose race car. I mean, I hate to speak for him, but I watch him on entry, getting his cockpit, and you see him. He dives in these corners and he's turning right more. He's turning left. He's trying to save the car.
Yeah, battling that right rear tire. And just needs to make it around this lap. Once he gets around to lap 75, the caution will fly as there's a race on for third as Trey Kirk trying to make a pass for that top 3 position before the stage end. Gonna cut off that dog leg and go into turn 3. See if he's not able to take it on the inside as coming to the start-finish line for the end of stage 2. Elliott Longenecker wins the stage, and Trey Kirk gonna battle Jason Warren and cross the start-finish line in that P3 position. But once again, Elliott Longenecker, the only position that really matters at these stage ends. Now 10 bonus points here tonight.
That's huge. I mean, that's a gift right there. Just gift wrapped personally by Elliott Longenecker as he just opens up the box of 10 bonus points for himself. And can possibly bat 1,000 here tonight, Zach, and get 15 bonus points. That's just unheard of. I see a lot of smoke in front of him. What
yeah,
is
me
that?
too.
That's never nothing you like to see as the leader. Or anybody, really, but especially the leader under caution. You definitely don't want to see no smoke in front of you under caution. Kudos to these guys here tonight, Zach. I don't know. I'm sure some of them are going to watch the broadcast back. Congratulations, boys. I mean, I know we've had some cautions, but I watched practice. I watched qualifying. This is not the easiest circumstances out here racing on right now with how slick the track is and how on edge these cars are. As we see, pit road's going to be a busy pit lane again. You're going to see some Sunoco fuel going in these bad machines and 4 fresh pieces of rubber.
Yeah, and they cannot make it to the end of stage 3, to the end of the race on this fuel. So they are going to have to pit again, whether that's green flag pit stops or under caution. They will have to at least pit one more time here tonight.
I see a few cars stay out, Zach. I don't know if they're lap cars or what, but I see the... Okay. One of these times, I'm going to invest into your scoring and timing system if I can run it too, and then I'll be up to date on everything.
Hey, I mean, it's only $11 a month, and it's very, you can use it for a variety of things, not even just broadcasting. So I would definitely recommend it, as Elliott Longenecker is going to beat Jason Warren out of pit road.
Ooh, that was close. That was really, really close. But Elliott having that number 1 pit stall saved him right then, as he looked like he spun the tires a little bit on exit right then, Zach. It was close.
It was close, but Elliott gets to keep that lead and control the field back to the green flag, as we're going to have, I'm not sure how many laps we'll have until we get that 1 to go, really. We'll see if we get it this time. I wouldn't imagine just because we were just down pit road, because lap cars got to have an opportunity to go down pit road.
Should be one more time around, I think.
Well, in that case, if we go back racing on lap 80, and we would have 76 laps to the end of the race, which you can make 60. So we'll see how these drivers, if we stay under green long enough, to how they decide to maybe cut it in half or wait until later, around lap 50 or 55 to pit. We'll see what these drivers choose to do if we make it that far under green. But if we make it about 15 laps in and then get a caution, everybody's going to be able to get fuel, and then it's all about tire pit strategy. Yep, we got the 1 to go. Going to line back up with Elliott Longenecker in first, Jason Warren second. It looks like he beat Jeremy Brault out. And actually, he gained 2 spots on pit road because he was in P4 at the end of that stage. So he gained 2 spots on pit road. And Trey Kirk, we saw him finish 3rd. He's in P5, so maybe a little bit of a slow stop for him. And there's Cody Pinnell in P4. We haven't seen much of him tonight for the lead, surprisingly, but a long way to go and a long way for him to try to get this 3rd win in a row.
So with Jason gaining them spots, Zach, do you think he maybe did a pit call right then and took 2 tires, or do you think he just had that good of a pit stop?
I just think he had that good of a pit stop, honestly. But we'll find out. The green flag is out. Elliott Longenecker, a fantastic jump, and that's going to leave it to Jason Warren and Jeremy Relt to fight it out for P2 as there's a battle for P4 behind them as Trey Kirk wins that battle.
Ooh, Jason Warren gets loose. He may save it. He has a lot of room down there. I'm not able to see if he saved it or not without getting into the wall.
He's in the wall. The caution is out. And that is big as Jason Warren battling for the lead throughout this race. And, well, now he's going to have to fight through the field.
I was going to say, as soon as I could talk, I was just about to say, man, Jason Warren's doing a heck of a job up on the high line. Because normally at these short style tracks, you think it's a low line. But the high line, you can race on the high line here. You can be just fast enough to be a nuisance. And I don't think he would have ever cleared the 74 right then, but he was going to be door-to-door with him.
I need to fix this. Being so far back, he just gets on the gas and it bites.
I hope you don't race like that, Zach.
No, I race in VR. That's why it's so off.
Oh.
Don't got to worry about your. Don't have to worry about your FOV out of VR when you race VR.
Right. Yeah, I was about to hit you with a big yikes if that's how you race. That was unwatchable right there. Tough break for the 32 machine was showing the 12 machine here tonight. Jason Warren. It just seems like no matter what, Zach, these races we call, he's always in the top 5, and then he gets involved in some type of bad luck. Tough break, but luckily for him, he does have a fast repair. But, you know, he locking them tires down. Them tires did not appreciate that too much right then. That was quite a bit of abuse right there.
Yeah, I imagine he'll take tires along with this fast repair, which he's only pit 2 times now, so that's 2 sets of tires that he's. So this will be his 3rd set out of, I believe you said 6 extra, so he should have 3 sets remaining.
Yes, it was 6 altogether.
6 altogether, so 2 remaining.
Yeah, right, they had 5 on pit road, so 2 remaining. And I mean that's he's not sitting bad even taking that set right there, because realistically, if we have a green flag run, we know for sure they got pit 1 more time, and that's if they can make it on fuel by just breaking this stage up in half. I think they'll take their tires 1 more time. Late race caution, they may take another set, but he should be okay on tires right now.
Yeah, but he's going to have to use and abuse those tires trying to work his way back through the field.
That's what I was going to say, but not only did he lose 1 set of tires right then, he lost a lot of valuable track position. And I hit on it earlier, we haven't had no real big movers from their grid spots to what they're racing in right now. We had Ray Page earlier, and then had a little bit of a commentary curse after that. But looking at the grid now, we have a few movers. Trey Bass in the 55 machine, he's gained a few spots. He started 14th. He's currently running 8th. Sorry. That'd be something to get the hiccups while I'm broadcasting, huh? My little behind the curtain, I just sent Zach a message saying that I had to run it to get me something to drink a while ago during caution, so maybe it'd be valuable to me. Yeah, I came back and you were talking, I was like, all right, maybe he didn't even notice I was gone.
Yeah, thankfully, me liking to talk a lot kind of saved us there, I guess.
Hey, me too. I could go over here and talk to the wall. That's why I like coming in here to these broadcast booths with you.
Yeah, I mean, not only do I enjoy racing, but I enjoy watching racing a lot. So getting to call these races is a reason to watch these races and have fun doing it. So I very much enjoy doing this with you and everybody that I broadcast with. So I really enjoy it. Doesn't even matter what car it is either. I mean, I don't broadcast road, but I would even have fun doing that. But SK modified, super late models, truck, cup, it doesn't matter what it is. It's always a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely. As the lights are off on the pace track, pulling that hard left onto the pit road at Elliott Longenecker, he gets a decent restart, but not as good as what he has been getting. And that's saying something because he did create a little bit of gap right there, but his other restarts have just been magnificent.
With that, P2 is Jeremy Brelton and Trey Kirk, P3, with Cody Pinnell behind him. Cody seems tonight like he's been good enough to be inside the top 5 the whole race, which he has been basically. Just maybe a little bit slower than our leaders tonight. But, I mean, if you can have an off night and be P4, that says something good about you.
That's what I was going to say. If this is his one bad race so far, I'll take a P4 for my bad race. So that shows just how fast he really is and a really, really excellent driver.
No more planned cautions the rest of this race. So, I mean, for all these drivers know, we could run this race out to the end and no cautions. We'll see if it happens. It's going to be tough. This track is tough, even when you're by yourself, but we'll see if they're able to, as we're down to lap 87 of 156 as this race is flying by now.
I'm trying to keep tabs on Jason Warren. I've seen he's gained 2 spots since the green flag dropped, but we've been on it all night. It's hard to pass here, and he actually almost gets into the 41 machine. I'm not even sure if you're showing him on broadcast, but almost got into the wall right then trying to make a pass on Ray Page in the 41 machine. Just going to be a tough track to pass on.
Now below 70 laps to go here tonight. Still outside of that pit window, 60 laps, or a little under 60 laps is the pit window, so maybe, just maybe, in about 10-15 laps, we might see some drivers go down pit road and elect to pit. We'll see if they decide to cut it off that close, because you never know if we'll get a green-white checkered or not.
I think in these type of long races, Zach, you got to make sure you just got to account for at least 2 green-white checkers. I'd hate to be up near the front and then not have enough fuel in the car to make it for a green-white checker. And I say that from experience because I ruined my race last night. We had a long race at Auto Club last night that I run.
Yeah, in that All-Star race, I mean, if we didn't get a caution to the end of the race, I would have ruined my race because everybody else behind me started pitting. I was leading in 3rd place pit, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll pit. And I was 0.7 gallons short after I pit. And so, literally, if I pitted, 2 laps later, I would have been okay. Thankfully, a caution came out and saved me, but if we went out to the rest, I was going to have to try to save that much fuel. So, you want to make sure that you're well within your limits to pit for fuel before you do, because you do not want to have to pit again if no caution comes out, because that would just ruin your race.
Yes, and I mean, these long races like this, these over 120, 130 lap races, it turns into a chess game as well as just racing. I mean, you gotta think, and you gotta do a little bit of math. And so I was running the top 10 all last night, and I cut myself a lap short, and it ended up being 3 laps short under power. So I ended up having to pit and went from running, I think, 8th, 9th to running 22nd last night. Is where I finished. So you got to do a little bit of math in the car, and that's what these drivers are doing. They got to calculate up. They know they can go roughly close to 60 laps, so they're going to try to get every inch out of that tank they can.
Absolutely. As we're closing in on lap 100 so far, your leader, Elliott Longenecker, has swept the first 2 stages, and Kobe Roberts has found his way into the top 4 now, passing Cody Pinnell, your winner of the first 2 races of the season, and right now having at least a strong top 5 race right now. But Kobe Roberts, a nice drive for him, started P6 up to P4 right now, and now that he's made that pass, going to look to try to catch Trey Kirk and get into that top 3 as Jason Warren making his way through the field.
Yeah, Jason Warren, he's currently sitting 14th on my end. That might update when he comes back around.
Oh, reckon behind Jason Warren, actually.
Well, then he's going to be glad that he moved up.
Absolutely.
I mean, honest God, truthfully.
And that, I still think we're a little bit outside the pit window, but with all the caution laps before and after they pit, they might just be able to make it, but it's going to be close. Let's see what happened here.
We got drivers not happy with each other right here, so let's see what happened.
Oh, so he gets moved up by Jason Warren just a little bit. And then coming down the dog leg. Oh, he just...
That's the product of the dog leg. I don't know if he knew that car was on his inside, if he thought that car was going to go down further, Zach.
Yeah, he either didn't know he was there or he expected him to be lower in the dog leg. Either way,
Right.
he was there.
As you see, pit road, a busy, busy pit road.
We are now 60 laps out. So, barring a green-white checkered, everybody looks like should be able to make it just fine. Along with the caution laps that we'll run, they'll probably save fuel. At least I would. I'd be saving fuel, and Jason Warren stays out, actually.
I like the
some
call,
other
Zach.
drivers.
I like Jason's call. I do. He's not going to be able to make it with fuel, but I like the call.
Donald, Ray, Jason Warren, Ray Page, and Terry Gabbard all stay out. 4 drivers.
I know you said they can go 60 laps or so, but man, that in my mind, and granted, like I said, I haven't been here in these cars, but in my mind, that seems like a stretch. But if they get cautioned, as the 74 machine gets loose off pit road, did you see it, Zach?
I did not. Oh man, yeah, he is spun around though.
I think he got into the wall, inside wall right there.
Usually I don't back it up, but we're gonna back it up for this one.
Yeah, I mean, we're not picking on him, we're just wanting to see the action, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure what happened here.
He just jumped on the gas in first gear or second gear, and he did not hit the wall. But
Okay.
he did just kind of put a little bit of wear on those new fresh tires.
IRacing should give us spots back though, right? He didn't ever come to a complete stop right then, I couldn't tell.
He is currently P6, so if he came out, he probably came out P6 because of the drivers, who stayed out. So he's P2 relative to where he went into pit road. So yeah, he got those positions back.
So yeah, iRacing, if as long as your wheels, all 4 wheels don't ever stop rolling, you can keep your position. It's kind of a little wacky part of iRacing, but I mean that's just part of it. And if you've been on the sim for a long time, or if you're as competitive as I am, you kind of learn them type things. But yeah, I guess his wheels never stopped rolling, because if they would have, he would have lost whatever positions passed by him.
I mean, you got to think though, he didn't lose any positions, but when you spin out like that, I mean, that could hurt the tires. So we'll see how see how those tires in his car react on this restart going into turn 1.
He's definitely used his tires more than Elliott Longenecker in the 5 right then, because I mean, he got sideways to put a little bit more heat in him. So yeah, he definitely he's going to be down a little bit on the tire percentage.
Donald Ray, your race leader, with Jason Warren, Ray Page, and Terry Gabbard. I was told it was 60 laps before the race, so if I am wrong, then sorry. But I think it's just these drivers taking a shot, because I feel like, I believe the driver who told me that it was 60 laps did a full run. So I trust that it's 60, and we'll see if these drivers are... Maybe these drivers are banking on 20 or 30 laps run and then another caution. That way, a caution comes out, everybody behind him is going to follow him. And Jason Warren, we saw him, he had to take a set of tires. So he only has 2 left, and maybe he was thinking to himself, I don't want to go take a set of tires right now with still over 50 laps to go. Oh, wrecking behind him.
Oh, and it's collecting some cars. It actually, I think that looked about as good as it could possibly look right there. I thought that when I saw the 54 machine rolling backwards, I thought we were about to have a pile up.
So, I think the 55 maybe got ran over.
Yeah, I don't like
that.
He
just. Oh well, no, I think he started in a higher gear. I know that it looks wonky, but we're gonna go on board here. You know what? I'll save your eyes. I'll go to the roll bar, or not. Okay, there we go. I clicked on gearbox by accident. So let's take a listen into maybe if he started in 3rd gear or not, maybe 4th. No, it doesn't. Oh wait, no, we're on the wrong driver. Sorry.
I was gonna say wrong car, I think.
Yeah, we're on the wrong car. Where is 55 Trey Bass? Okay, all right. No, he was kind of slow going through the gears,
Right.
and the 54 didn't expect it.
That's a tough one. There's a driver that loves seeing these caution laps, so that's Jason Warren. He's made a risky pit call. If he can go about 20 laps here, though, and get some more drivers to follow him, this pit call could be the game changer of the night.
I don't know. If you're Jason Warren, I don't want a lot of quick cautions, just because you want, like I said, like a 10 to 20 lap run, to where if you get another caution, then everybody behind you will follow you, so you don't lose all those positions.
That is true. That is true. You want them to use their tires up enough to feel like they need to go pit.
As we're now past lap 100, and we got 55 laps to go in this race. So for all these drivers that did pit, these caution laps are going to, I think, secure in their minds that they'll be able to make it on fuel to the end of this race, and I imagine they can. But for these front four who stayed out, they are on a little bit of a different strategy here.
Zach, as the lights stay on the pace track, are you able to tell me when Jason pitted last on the exact lap? I know he wasn't, it ain't been a long time ago, but it's been a little bit.
He pit 25 laps ago.
Ooh, that's a lot longer than what I was expecting.
He pit on lap 76. So, I mean, that'd be 80 laps that he'd have to go, and that's 20 laps past what I was told is the fuel window. So we'll see what happens.
There's a lot of cautions. You could do it, but I mean, boy, you're asking a lot right there. I have trouble making up 3 to 4 laps, Zach. Making up 20 laps, you're going to be shutting the car off a lot.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be possible.
And Donald Ray, he pit on the same lap as well. I think everybody who's pit here, except Gabbard. Gabbard, he pit on lap 76, but then he went and pit on lap 82. So he's a little bit ahead of these guys on fuel, but still I don't think good enough.
It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. With about how many laps to go? It's not telling me the lap counter right
53.
now. 53. I'm on the pace truck. We'll get it together eventually, I promise.
And we got a single file restart here. Is Donald Ray gonna love seeing that? Actually, I would say love seeing that, but that kind of singles them out, and it makes it maybe a little bit easier to pass as these drivers behind him who are on fresher tires starting with Elliott Longenecker.
Absolutely. If you're double file, it puts you in a box almost. And if you're faster than the guy in front of you, you don't want to shoot it 3-4 wide.
That pace truck's going to pull off, and we're going to go back racing with 53 laps to go. As wow, Donald going to hold him a long time. The green flag is out, and that's going to stack up the field. As I mean, that entire top four is spread out a lot.
Yes, I see cars going every which way down the front stretch. Not wrecking, but ooh, Jason's gonna get up and almost get through the wall again.
Elliott Longenecker, the first car on fresher tires, trying to make a pass on the 4, is in the wall. So Terry Gabbard, who stayed out on older tires, gets into the wall. That's going to lose him a lot of positions and give him damage. And spinning behind him into the wall, but saves it, and that's going to keep us green.
I was going to say, I see all cars pointing forward. I missed what happened there. It happened so fast.
So we have a lot of action going on back here. And for the lead, Jason Warren to the inside, going to make a pass on Donald Ray. And Jason Warren to the point here tonight here at Phoenix Raceway. Oh, but Donald not giving it up easy. He's going to fight back.
Yeah, I went to focus on leader on iRacing for the camera, and it stayed on Elliott Longenecker, so I guess iRacing even knew who led the most of this race. But yeah, great pass by Jason right there. That's a big jump right there, Zach. I mean, I know the pit call gave it to him, but to be running second, wreck, go use your fast break, get a brand new car, and come out and run a few laps before you know it, you're in first. I mean, that's 0 to hero pretty quick.
Racing going on here between Ray Page and Dustin Painter for that spot, and they make contact. The 21 sliding And David Hawk saves it, but he's going to lose at least 2 positions due to that. Maybe 3 here to that 17 to Tracy Pinnell. And spinning in front of him. Big wreck. Ryan Pinnell in the wall, along with Samuel Roberts in the 15. And did we run enough laps to where everybody behind these leaders are going to want to pit? I don't think so.
Zach, mic check. My Discord just crashed. I'm
Yeah, I
back
got
up and running. Okay, good deal.
I just asked, we got a wreck here now, and this brings out the caution, but did we run enough laps consecutively to make these drivers who got 4 fresh tires maybe 10 laps ago want to come back? I don't think so.
No, I don't. No. If Jason Warren pulls down, maybe.
He did pit. But I don't see these drivers follow him at all. Nope.
No, there's just no reason to now.
Track position here can be so key, and they haven't ran. I believe they pit on lap 95, so we're 14 laps from that, and not all those laps are green flag laps, and so not too many laps on those tires. And track position can be really key here at Phoenix, so I don't blame them for not pitting. And maybe the guys who are pitting, I think most of them are the people on that strategy who stayed out.
This is hindsight 2020, but if they could have went about 10 more laps or so, Zach, and maybe had another caution, but we saw the way this race played out. We had 3 quick cautions, and then we had a long green flag run. You never know when that next caution was coming. So being in Jason Warren and Don on them shoes, you almost got to take your tires when you get the next chance, and that's what they're doing here. But they could have went about 10, 15 more laps and then pitted. I think it would have been perfect for them.
Yeah, but if you think, because obviously you said hindsight, if they, I'd much rather pit under yellow where I know that I'll be able to restart with everybody than, not pit. And then, like you said, we get that long green flag round, and then you have to pit under green, and you have no chance then. Because
exactly
at least Warren here, he's starting P13, which is not optimal. You'd rather be starting near the front. But at least at this point, he's starting P13 in a group that's all close together instead of pitting under green and having literally 0% chance.
And even though these guys that did pit earlier, it ain't like their tires are super fresh either. I know you said 14 laps. They've probably been about 6 or 7 under green flag conditions, but those tires will start to show wear as the run goes on, if there is a long green flag run here.
Man,
I'd happen to think that everybody should be good with fuel now. Fuel should be out of the question now with these caution laps that we're getting and all that.
Oh, absolutely. And Elliott Longenecker dominated this race, won both of the opening stages 1 and 2, and now looking to sweep the race for stage 3 and get 15 bonus points this race. That would absolutely help him out. I forgot to pull up the points earlier when I said I would. The points right now, you got Cody Pinnell in the lead with 85 points, and right now Elliott Longenecker has 57, so he is 28 points behind, and he's gonna, if he can win this race, he'll gain 15 of those back just extra, not counting the points he'll get for where he finishes if he wins.
I don't want to instill the commentary curse, but watch out for that 6 car. I'm calling it now. I think he's gonna throw his name in the hat again here, Zach. I really do. I think he's just been riding around biding his time. I honestly think he's gonna give the 74 and the 5 machine a run for their money here, and even the 22 Hooters machine. I'm not sure that is Kobe Roberts in the 22. We don't know. These drivers could have been holding back the whole time, and for our sake up in the booth, I hope they have been.
Yeah, and that shows just how good of a first 2 weeks Cody Pinnell has had. Even if he doesn't win this race and get those 5 extra, even if Elliott does, if he can finish up here in this top 3, he'll still have that points lead, even with Elliott Longenecker getting 15 bonus points.
But that does cut it a lot shorter and a lot more obtainable for Elliott Longenecker in the 5 machine. I would see 3 wide racing further back in the pack.
There goes Cody Pinnell trying to pass, or trying to keep the position on Kobe Roberts for P3, and he does. As now Trey Kirk going to try to work on that 22 machine. So now Cody Pinnell into that top 3. What can he do with it? Wrecking behind him. Into pit road goes Steven Downton, and he keeps it straight. He's slow on track, but I don't think that'll warrant a caution. Oh, and he spins himself out, unfortunately.
You know, Zach, I'm watching him take this dog leg, and I'm watching Elliott stay up off the dog leg. I don't think the dog leg's that much faster, really. I mean, I really don't.
No, it's not that much faster. It's just when you're side by side with somebody, you definitely want to use that.
Right. I mean, I'm sitting here, I've been watching it the whole time. Just in my mind, I think it would be, I mean, shoot, you feel like you're cutting off 50, 100 foot of the track right there by doing that.
Man, so it looks like maybe the 4 checked up a little bit, and, well, Steven just didn't expect it and ran into him.
Oh, just ran in there.
Oh, and then he gets ran over. I think he tries to get back through the gears and accidentally. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I won't speculate.
No, I'll just say it's unfortunate for the drivers that were involved.
See if anybody pits here because of this. I don't think so. Nope, you're going to see a fake out from the 22 Kobe Roberts.
I'm going to tell Elliott to put on a show for us, get on pit lane here. I did. I wrote him privately. I said, put on a show. Go pit. He's just been so dominant tonight, Zach. But he hasn't been dominant to where he's checking out 5 to 6 seconds on the field. But he's not having to worry too much up front here.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you want to do every race. You want to put yourself in the lead because other than lap cars, that leaves you out of all that drama of racing for position. And Elliott's done that so far tonight. He's kept that car clean. Even when he was back in the latter half of the top 10, he's kept this car clean. So we'll see if he can do that for the remaining 40 laps. But so far, he's done a really nice job at keeping himself out of anything that could put that car in danger.
And like Vin Diesel said in Fast and Furious, winning's winning. It don't matter if you win by a foot or win by a mile. And although he hadn't been able to jump out to a 5-6 second lead like we've seen other people do before in other tracks, other series, he has been the most dominant car by far here tonight. And he's showcased a speed and a race pace speed as the long runs go on, the runs go on that just other drivers haven't here tonight.
Yeah, and I think that just shows, and I know we keep going, or I keep going back to Cody Pennell, but I think that shows just how different tracks can be, that it doesn't matter how fast one driver can look through 2 weeks. You go to a different style of track and somebody else can show up. And Elliott Longenecker, he's been fast at these other tracks too, but he hasn't dominated them like he has this track, so it seems like he really likes Phoenix.
Yeah, that's what I love about these leagues, especially leagues like this, like the Cup Series leagues that go to different style tracks, because it gives you different drivers like different tracks, different style of tracks. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Elliott likes Phoenix and likes these shorter style tracks.
Well, hey, that's a great segue real quick. Different style of tracks. 2 weeks we head to Bristol Dirt. That is definitely a different style of track.
It gets no different. I mean, it gets no different. I'm scared for him. I'm glad I'm in the booth and not on the track.
I got to run NIS that week, so I'm scared for myself and for these guys.
You said Bristol Dirt's in 2 weeks?
For these drivers, yes, but it's next week for NIS.
All right, bookmark me in the booth in 2 weeks, Monday night. I'll be here for that show.
These drivers do these races the week after, or the Monday night after the week that they run at these tracks. So, yeah, 2 weeks as the green flag is back out next week at Atlanta. But right now, we're here at Phoenix Raceway, and we are back under green. And Elliott Longenecker back out to a good lead on this restart. Jeremy Brult in second, Cody Pennell third. And we got a race going on for, it looks like P6, as Alex Simkowski trying to keep that position over Tracy Pennell. And I believe we got 3 Pennells in here tonight.
We do. That's what I noticed that earlier. And I just noticed Jason Warren manually disconnected. So I'm not sure what happened with him.
Wow, that's a bit surprising. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if he got caught up in a late wreck after the caution. I don't know, but I'll talk to him after the race, see what happened. I imagine he's not too happy unless it's a real-life situation that pulled him away. Then it would be understandable, obviously. But right now we're focused on who can win this race here tonight. We got 36 laps to go, and I mean, it just does not seem like anybody has the pace Elliott does here tonight, but anything can happen.
Yeah, I think we're going to want to call Elliott Longenecker to the tech shed after this race here, Zach, because he's been really fast on short runs, long runs, medium runs. It didn't matter. I mean, he's been quick here tonight.
Yeah, but maybe not as good on this very short run like these cars behind him, because they are keeping up with him. But maybe we'll see as we get more into this run if he starts to build that gap. But right now, Jeremy Brolt, he's stayed with him here.
Yeah, he's just created a little bit of a gap to where the point where he's not as nervous. His mirror's not as full with a green bumper in his mirror. We've seen some separation throughout the entire pack. I hit on it earlier. These short tracks, you get packs. And right now we have about 3 different packs out here racing.
Absolutely. We got Samuel Roberts and Ryan Pinnell, the other Pinnell we were talking about, racing for position here. And I believe they all run kind of a, no, I was going to say kind of a striped. But you see Ryan Pinnell in that 12 machine with the 2 red stripes running down the middle of that car.
There's Elliott Longenecker. He's actually coming up on lap traffic right here. Zach, you keep up with the IRacing updates and stuff like that. These cars, they didn't get the new damage model, correct?
No, I believe they stayed with the damage model they had.
And update on Jason Warren. I think he got caught up in a wreck. I just wrote him and talked to him a little bit. Tough break for him after running up near the front for the majority of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. He always seems to have bad luck in these cup cars, so I feel a little bit bad for him. As about half a second lead Elliott Longenecker has right now, but they're not just laying back and going away. They are going to keep him honest here for the remaining 30 laps.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing how much faster people get when the laps start to wind down. As race car drivers, we end up finding a 10th or so as the laps start to wind down, and I expect that tonight too.
Yeah, we're seeing the cars behind Elliott Longenecker, Jeremy and Cody. They're staying a little bit lower on the exit of turn 2. We'll see what happens here on 4. But at least turn 2, if you pay attention, Elliott Longenecker exits higher than the other cars do.
I've also noticed a lot this race, Elliott's actually stepping down below the yellow line on the corners. He's, of course, he don't do it right there in 1 and 2. But like I said, he is exiting in a little bit higher. But watch him here in 3 and 4. He puts that left front right on that yellow line. But he won't do it this time because I said something. But yeah, he does it a little bit, not as much as what I was thinking.
You don't want to get it too low because it can get you really loose in the center of the turn.
Jason Warren was caught in a wreck that I guess we missed off broadcast.
Maybe a wreck that happened that didn't bring out a yellow. I'm not sure. Those are usually the wrecks we don't see.
Yep. You see Elliott, he just wants to keep on clicking these laps off, but I'm seeing it again, Zach. He's starting to get loose on exits.
Of course, iRacing is starting to get a little bit more blinky as we get closer to the finish of this race.
I told myself earlier, I'm not going to be surprised if it happens. I have terrible luck, Zach, and you're in the booth with me right now, so my luck's going to rub off on you. As Elliott went, he had a full tire below the yellow line that time.
Unfortunately for this league, I've had terrible luck on Mondays, connection-wise.
I can vouch for Zach though. He does a heck of a job. And he does my Tuesday night leagues, and I race another league that he does, and never a problem. It's just internet right now, and we'll get it sorted out. And like I said earlier, I think it's the IRacing side. I've had my frames cut in half, and I've done everything I could, and finally got my new computer, so I'm not having to worry about it right now.
But right now, Jeremy Brilt he's catching him right now. And he is going to make the end of this race very interesting as he's to the back bumper of Elliott Longenecker for the lead. 26 laps to go. A long way to go for these guys to decide this win. Caution is
change
out.
up the game plan here, Zach. You're Elliott Longenecker. What do you do here with a set of tires in the pits?
Oh,
I'm asking. Right, that's what I'm thinking.
There's just no way you can't pit here, or don't.
Because don't pit, it's gonna be the Chase Elliott effect whenever he was leading. If you don't go in, everybody behind him is going in. I mean, that's just the way it is. There'll be some. I think there'll be some that don't go in right here, Zach.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be a very good decision as those tires are pretty worn now. I think the only people that might stay out are people who don't have a set of tires, but I'm not sure if there's anybody who is left without one.
I think we'll have people wanting the track position, but I don't think it'll pay off. We need caution after caution for it to pay off.
And there they go, and everybody's going to follow behind. Nobody's going to stay out and risk it. I believe the guys who are a lap down.
I'm nervous for the 74 about speeding on the entry right then.
David Hawks stays out. Sorry about that.
You're okay. He was the driver set out earlier, but yeah, I'm nervous to see about the 74. He closed the gap on Elliott super fast right there in Zach on entry. Elliott either backed it down way below the speed pit road speed limit or 74 to try to get everything he could out of it.
You can get away on iRacing on entrance. You can be a couple miles per hour over as long as you get it down as soon as you get in. As the 5's going to get off.
I know you're not watching it, but my camera went over to the 55 machine. He's mangled. That's why I asked if we had a new damage model. I ain't never seen the damage look like that before on these cars.
Yeah, they've had this damage model for a little while now.
Handful.
And unfortunately for that 55, one driver does stay out. It's unfortunate for both drivers because David Hawk's the only guy who stays out, and because of that 55 is not going to be able to get away from him.
You froze on my end. All right, never mind. You're good now. Oh, yeah, that's a tough break having that one car stay out like that. Tough break. So that's going to put Elliott Longenecker. He's going to be starting P2 right here. Man, for David, he wanted to see a lot more cars stay out than that to give himself a little bit of a buffer. But the way it sets right here, Elliott's going to be firing off right on his outside. There's not going to be much of a buffer here.
Yeah, I mean, the buffer is to your outside. That's it.
That's it. I mean, it's not there. It's non-existent now.
Right. And that's going to make it interesting for the guys behind our leader. It's going to be Jeremy Brilton at 74. He's going to be starting, unless they start single file, which they won't. He's going to be starting behind those old tires, and it can be a danger to the whole field, but the first driver behind him is that 74, and if he spins those tires, it could get bad.
And it's going to put him in my favorite word on here, my favorite thing. It's going to put him in a box right here, Zach. He's going to be stuck behind the 21 even on the entry. And at 21, he could be the fastest driver in the world with them old tires, though. That's going to slow him down. It's going to back his pace way down. So that's 74 is going to have to manage it here without trying to lose a lot of time to Elliott Longenecker in the 5 machine. If David can get a good jump right here, a good restart, it won't affect the 74 much, but 74 just got to get a good restart with him.
21 laps to go when we go back racing here at Phoenix Raceway. The green flag is out. David Hawk is off, and he gets a good jump with those old tires.
He did. He got a good jump right then. That's going to leave the race for second. The 74 right here, Zach, he just wants to clear the 5. That's all he wants. He needs to get by that 5 machine. As you see the
3 wide down the dog leg.
I thought the 21 was going to get squeezed up, or going to squeeze Elliott up into the outside, but Elliott makes a power move to make it stick.
Oh, and wrecking behind him. Oh,
like,
no.
A big wreck. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
He's still flipping, Zach.
Oh, my goodness. Thankfully for him, he lands on his tires.
I want to apologize to my fiance right there. I know I was really loud. My kids are sleeping right next to me in the room over, so sorry for that. That was magnificent of a wreck, though.
Man, we're going to have to take a couple looks at this, maybe.
That's a wreck worthy of your new replay screen that you used.
Man, and gets head up against that fence and just starts slipping. I think we're going to take one more look at this, and it's going to be, I mean, if you guessed it, on board with this car, because this is insane. Let's check this out.
He got clipped, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's what started it. Okay. And then
I'm getting dizzy watching it.
Yeah, just along for the ride. If you're in VR right there, you may have to step away for a nausea break.
And that's going to leave us under 20 laps to go when we go back to green here. And
wait, so did the timing loop put 74 in front of the 5?
Yeah, he was ahead of him when that came out.
I got really excited calling that, man. That was awesome.
So Jeremy in a really good position now. He only has to hold him off for what's going to be 16 or 17 laps, which Elliott's been fast tonight, but that's doable.
Oh, it's absolutely doable. It's doable for a lot of cars out here. Top 4 cars. I mean, any car out here. I mean, it's racing. Anything can happen. But I think we're about to have us interesting dash to the finish here with 18 laps to go. Well, it's going to be probably about 17 actually when we take the green.
Yeah, the lights are still on, so I think it's going to be 16 laps to go when we go back racing.
Somebody needs to phone the 21 machine to make sure he's okay after that flip. That's a good thing we're in a sim right now, not real life. That's a brutal hit against the catch fence, and then you're going to flip about 5 or 6 times.
Hey,
he
man.
rivaled Brett Wallace at Talladega right there.
Hey, if you have one of those butt kicker machines on you, or 4 of them, I mean, you're going to be feeling that in your butt.
If you got one of them butt kickers right there from the buttkicker.com, use promo code 5Kings for 20% off. You'd feel every hit right there. Shameless plug. I had to throw it in there, Zach. Sorry.
I don't know if you heard me or not, because I said that. I shouted that out.
So my fiance texted me. So peek behind the curtain. There's 31 this time. I wrote it and said sorry for being loud if I woke the kids up. So I did get a little loud there. But yeah, thank you for that if you did. We surely appreciate it. As the lights are off on this pace truck, Zach, what we got? Going to be going back green with 16 to go?
Yep.
Man, oh man, it's about to get interesting. You better pull them belts tight one more time, boys. In the words of DW, it's about to be boogity, boogity, boogity.
And single file restart, going to make it a little bit better for that 74. Going to be able to get out to a nice lead, or should be able to. We'll see how good of a jump he gets. And you know that 5 is going to be tight. He's going to be right behind him to try to get as good of a jump as he can. And the 74 is off. Green flag is out. 16 laps to go here at Phoenix Raceway. And a decent-sized gap for that 74 off the rip.
Absolutely, and I think it's been the tale of the night, Zach. It didn't really matter too much who was in the lead. Whoever gets that jump, the 74 got a little bit loose on transition right then. You saw the sparks, so we hit on that earlier. That's why they don't use the transition as much in real life. Not as much in iRacing, but Elliott's there. But like I was saying, yeah, the restarts, we've seen most of the leaders get about a half-second gap, so it just may be a product of this track and the restarts, how you time them.
15 laps, that 74, but he's really loose right now. And the 5's going to use the dog leg. A side-by-side battle for the lead going into turn 3. Can Elliott hold it on the bottom? 74 goes
74
really high.
Get loose here again, I think. He's got a lot of heat in them tires, but oh my goodness, what a great power move by the 74 right there. And I think Elliott kind of cut him a break, not wanting to wash up into him and squeeze him out. The 74 lost a lot of momentum getting sideways like that, but look, he's created a little bit of a gap, not much of a comfortable gap, but a little bit of one.
We've talked about how hard it is to pass here, and it showed right there. I mean, Elliott Longnecker had all of the momentum going into turn 3. The 74 went really high, but still could not pass him on the inside.
When I seen the 74 go that high, Zach, I thought he was going to be end up fighting with Cody Pennell in the 3rd place position, but he got such a great run on the exit. That may show Elliott something. You know, that high lane, it may have some momentum in it. You may have to try it. I don't think it would work, but it worked right then.
Man, if Jeremy wins this race, he's going to have to earn it. He's got to be perfect for 12 laps, because if he's not, Elliott is right there. Oh, Elliott gets loose. I was going to say, Elliott is right there to take it away if he's not perfect every lap, but Elliott gets loose himself. And just like that, Cody Pennell's in this battle in the top 3.
That shows these cars, these drivers, they're pushing these cars to their limits right now. I mean, they're trying to get every little hundredth, every tenth out of these cars that they can possibly get, and it's showing because these guys are they're on the ragged edge, and sometimes they overstep that boundary, but nobody's overstepped it to the point of no return yet. In my experience, Zach, you drive these cup cars a lot more. It seems like if you get these things, you get that right rear heated up just a little bit too much. It seems like you get loose over and over and over until you finally just back it down a little bit. But these drivers, I mean, we've seen them get loose a little bit, but the 74 hasn't had an incident since he got loose last.
Yeah, and he's built a nice little gap, about 3 or 4 car lengths, but he's still got to keep this going. Got to be perfect every lap. 10 laps to go for these drivers. And the last thing right now Jeremy wants to see is a caution.
You're starting to see a lot more drivers. They're using that dog leg now. They're not leaving any extra piece of track out there this time. And they can't. As these laps start to wind down, like you said, we're under 10 to go. Sorry, I hit the mic twice right then. I'm just getting excited in the booth.
We can't hear it when you hit it, so you're all good.
Oh, awesome. That's even better.
I feel like that's going to be the part of the track to pass if Elliott's able to get to him. 1 and 2 is a lot easier to pass on the bottom than 3 and 4. So Elliott, though, he needs to get to him if he's going to pass him, and he does not have a lot of time to do it.
That's what I'm saying. The time is winding down. He's got to get there, and then just getting there, that's only half the battle. Then you got to start the big part of the battle, and that's trying to get around him. And we've seen the 74 machine, even on the high side. Boy, he was quick on the exit on coming out of 3 and 4.
Maybe Elliott just used up his stuff trying to get to him and pass him, and it looks like it's maybe hurting him a lot now with 8 laps to go.
Just need mistake-free last 6 laps or so right here for the 74 machine to bring us home. After really following in Elliott's tracks a lot of this race, you know, he wasn't out front for a long time, but looks like he might be out front when it counts.
Hey, I think we had like 36 to go, and we were talking about how strong Elliott was, and he was in the lead, but a lot can happen, and a lot has happened as Elliott gets loose.
Man, oh man.
And yeah, unless a caution comes out, that 74 is sitting pretty right now.
Yes, and what he sees right now in his mirror, he saw Elliott get loose, but not only that, he's seeing Cody Pennell in the 6 machine. He's actually looking underneath Elliott going to the dog leg. I'm not sure if he'll be able to make it stick here or not, but he is underneath Elliott.
Yeah,
man,
that inside is so tough to pass on that in turn 3 and 4, as it shows right there. That high line gets the better run.
Just gets so much momentum on a high line, but man, oh man, I know we're focusing on the top 3, but there's such good racing right now up here.
Trey Kirk, he's passed Kobe Roberts for 4th, as Kobe He's already in the top 5, but trying to advance his position even one more.
Every position counts here, Zach, especially when you're season racing, league racing for points.
Yeah, Trey Kirk is in second right now in points. That might change due to the bonus points from Elliott, but we'll have to see at the end of the race or next week because I'm not exactly sure what the points will look like. But it will help Elliott. He's maybe not going to win this race if a caution doesn't come out, but those 10 bonus points will definitely help him out.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
As we got 3 laps to go now, we need to collect that white flag or we will have a green-white checkered here tonight. So it is not over just yet. Need to get around one more lap after he gets to the front stretch. We talk about, you know, a race to the checkered flag. Well, sometimes it's a race to the white flag because you just don't want to see that caution.
Man, oh man, talk about what looks like to be a surprise winner here. It's at just barring any major, oh my goodness, any major incident here.
Around 3 and 4, he wants to see that white flag. There's a race on for second right now. But for Jeremy, he's not paying attention to that. Hopefully just out the front windshield as the white flag is out. And they're wrecking for second.
No,
And
no,
Elliott
no.
Longenecker is going to have to tow. That motor is gone. Very unfortunate. But for Jeremy Brilt, that's going to help him as he comes around 3 and 4 for the last time. That 74 Chevrolet machine around out of turn 4 is going to win at Phoenix Raceway in week 3 of the ARCS Monday Night Lightning Series.
Boy, oh boy, what a race. And I call him a surprise winner, but is he really? I mean, he was there the whole race. He may have been in second, but he was there the whole race. Congratulations to that 74 machine. Tough break for Elliott Longenecker.
Your top 3 after that, Jeremy Brilt, Cody Pennell, and Trey Kirk.
Burn it down, young fella. Burn it down. I say young fella. I don't even sure how old he is. Just burn it down, sir. It here tonight. I think he's done this a time or two, Zach. What do you think?
Maybe.
Showing off that iRacing's new version of the smoke pretty good here.
As I do not have the privileges to move people in here, so we're going to have to wait until these drivers get in here.
I think he's going to want to expire a motor real quick before he comes. Maybe not. And there it went.
Go ahead and pull up your finishing results right now as we wait. See if they, there we go. Okay. All right. So, see if Trey Kirk is in here. Oh, there's Trey.
Yeah, I'm in here.
All right, Trey. Zach and Tanner in the booth. You come home with a 3rd place finish. I know that it was due to a late race, a wreck, but I feel like you have to take anything you can get. We saw you inside that top 10 throughout the entire night. Take us through how your car felt.
Yeah, I mean, as the run went on, it just kept getting looser and looser. You just had to save tires, and whoever saved the tires the best was going to be there in the end. And I think Cody, Elliott, and who was the guy that won? I can't remember his name.
Jeremy Brill.
Yeah, Cody, Elliott, and Jeremy. They saved it better than I did, and I just got lucky right there. Overall, it was a pretty good race, just a lot of cautions.
Trey, this is Tanner in the booth. So I've watched you the last few weeks, and especially at Homestead, I watched you start in the back. I don't know whether you elected to or what, and drive your way up through the field. Tonight you started fourth, and you say you got lucky by finishing third, but you look pretty strong. You think if a caution came out right then, you think you could have had something for Jeremy or Elliott or Cody?
Maybe. I think I just burnt my tires up too quick, and they just got a bigger gap on me. I don't know if I would have had anything for them after caution came out right there.
I hear you, buddy. Well, you got any sponsors shot you want to throw out?
Yeah, I just want to thank ARCS for putting this thing on. My dad, all the guys and Team Sideswipe. Uh, thank y'all for putting this race on.
Absolutely, buddy. And congratulations on your third place finish.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Now we'll move on to second place finisher Cody Pinnell. I see in here Cody, Zach and Tanner. You got a copy? See his mic's muted. Oh wait, you know what? Sorry, Cody. I for some reason. Oh, I don't know what happened earlier, but I had you muted for some reason. I apologize. Well, Zach and Tanner in the booth. You come home second. We saw you there in the top 5 very consistently throughout that entire race, and I know a little late race commotion maybe there at the end, but you guys were racing hard for that P2. Take us through your race.
Yeah, first I just want to apologize to Elliot. We were racing really hard there at the end. It was a lot of fun, and I just hate that it ended the way it did. I got into the wall a little bit and bounced off and got into it, and I just hate that. So I want to apologize to him first. But yeah, the car felt pretty good all night. I was able to kind of hang there with Jeremy and Elliot on the long runs. As it would get looser, the car would kind of come to me. A lot of cautions that didn't help me in that fact because my car was better on the long run. But all in all, a pretty solid night.
Yeah, Cody, this is Tanner in the booth. Yeah, definitely really solid night. Last time I saw you, so we wasn't here last Monday, but Monday before that, Miami Homestead, you just had the most dominant car. Are you when you look at the schedule of the races coming up, are you not a fan of short tracks? I'm just saying you guys look at it from my point of view. I've just seen you dominate these mile and a half tracks. Is that more of your bread and butter, or do you like? Are you not as comfortable on a short track? Basically, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm definitely more comfortable on mile and a half, so I can just get around a little bit better. I felt like definitely tonight Elliot had us covered for the most part, and then Jeremy there in the late going. But yes, mile and a halves are definitely more to my style of driving. So I'm looking forward to Atlanta and definitely getting to Kansas. So yeah, I hope that I can carry this momentum to Atlanta and get a good finish there, and we can have a little bit better race overall.
You know, Cody, I heard you mention those tracks. I didn't hear Bristol Dirt. What's wrong with you? You not looking forward to it?
Oh, I'm looking forward to Bristol Dirt. Yeah, I think I'm more concerned about how the overall race is going to go, but I am looking forward to it. I hope that we can get in there and get all the guys practiced up, and we can have a good race there and put on a good show for the broadcast. And I'm definitely looking forward to it as coming from a dirt background.
Right on, buddy. I feel you. I know. I'm looking forward to it as a broadcaster, not as a racer. But you got any sponsors or shout outs you want to throw out there?
Again, I just want to thank ARCS and Ryan and Elliot for putting this on. They put in a lot of hours each week, and they've invested a lot in this series. So I'm really appreciative to them for everything that they do.
Right on, buddy. Well, congratulations on bringing home another podium finish.
Thank you.
All right, and finally we move on to Jeremy. I'm not sure if he's in here.
Yeah, I'm in here.
Oh, there he is. Okay. All right. I was thinking maybe that was you, but obviously with the name I couldn't tell. But hey, man, big win here tonight. We saw Elliot Longnecker kind of control the field throughout the night. But when you got that lead, I believe it was like 20 to go. I was like, hey, that's definitely good enough to hold on to that lead. And you did more than hold on. You ran away from him there as that run went on. Do you think maybe you just saved your tires a little bit better than he did?
I don't know. I think he was overall the best driver tonight. I had zero clue what the hell I was doing out there. But yeah, I didn't try to just overdrive the corners. I just got my braking points, and that's basically how I did it. I didn't do anything special. I didn't hold back or anything. I was going 100% the whole time.
Well, hey,
Well,
sorry, Tanner, but for not knowing what the hell you were doing, you did a hell of a job, man.
So thank you.
that kind of threw a monkey wrench into my question. I was going to ask if you was holding back. So, I mean, I'll tell you this, Jeremy, you ran a great race. I said you were a surprise winner at one time, but then I got thinking about it. You were in second, third that whole race. So you ran a magnificent race. So now I got to think on the fly. Did you, coming into Phoenix, did you think you had a pretty good shot at least a podium finish? Maybe not a win, but a podium finish, and then you come out with a win?
I mean, after last week, I was running in the top 5 most of the week. I mean, it's not the same type of deal. It's not the same package, but, I thought with how I was doing last week, I'd at least get a top 10 out of it. I had zero clue I was going to be anywhere near the lead or anything, or even have a shot at winning, but it was pretty cool.
Right on, buddy, I bet. Well, I'm going to tell you congratulations on the win, even though you didn't think that you were going to get it. It surprised you, but you were up there near the front. You were in the top 3 the entire race, except just a little bit of pit strategy, but you always found your way back up to the front. So congratulations on the win, and got any sponsors, anybody you want to thank, Jeremy?
Yeah, I got a couple people. John Smeal from Smeal Designs, he came on board today. I asked him, I was like, hey, man, I'm doing a race tonight, and I was like, you want to put your logo on the car? And he put up a whole design and everything, so that was pretty cool. So he's doing designs for like $10 on Facebook, so Smeal Racing Designs at Facebook. And a couple of other people, ADRK 007 and MRite 42, those two guys kind of, helped me out a little bit when I was having a little bit of dark times a couple months ago, but now everything's good. This is great. But yeah, thank everybody else for putting this league on. This is a lot of fun.
Right on, brother. And I hear you mention dark times. I hope everything's on the up and up, not just for iRacing, but life in general, brother. And congratulations on your win here tonight. We'll see you next week out there battling some more.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Congrats. All right, that was your top 3 here tonight. Once again, your winner in that 74 machine, and there's your results. And while we let them take a longer look at that, Tanner, last thoughts on tonight's race?
Man, it was shocking at times, and it was oppressive at other times. And then I don't know, it was just a great race all around, Zach. I mean, we saw Elliott lead the most laps. He was dominant all night. Jason Warren, again, had Jason Warren luck. It seems like every time I'm in the booth calling a race of his, he's has terrible luck. Trey Kirk did good, starting up front and keeping it up front. Tough break for Elliott, but overall, I mean, just a great race tonight. And proud of the guys for putting on the race that they did, and enjoyed watching it.
Absolutely. Great race from these drivers here tonight at Phoenix, a tough track, and they put on a good show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in here tonight for the ARCS iRacing Monday Night Lightning Series. If you're interested in this series, make sure to tune in next week where we head to Atlanta Motor Speedway, 1.5 miles. So maybe Cody Pinnell, he said he loves those 1.5 miles. So we'll see if he pulls off another victory at 1.5 miles or if somebody else is going to maybe upset him a little bit. So make sure to tune in for that. Once again, thank you for tuning in tonight. It's been Zach and Tanner in the booth. Have a good night.